Hello everyone, my name is Jeevan. In this video, I'm going to talk about attack phases, the ethical or penetration testing attack phases that someone needs to follow to perform attack or penetration testing. So the attack phases uh, goes in five steps or five phase of any attack can be categorized. The first one is the reconnaissance and or a footprinting. The reconnaissance is about information gathering about the target system. So before performing any attack scan into the target system, the attacker needs to have the all relevant or required information like what is the IP address and the port, the vulnerability they have. They may have what is the route, the path, the attack vector the attacker needs to follow. So all uh, first thing first, the attacker needs to gather the information about the target. Then, based on those information, attacker will determine their techniques, the methods to get into the system. So this is the very important phase, and we will discuss this in detail in a later separate section because the reconnaissance itself is very uh, detailed topic. This is majorly active reconnaissance can be or passive reconnaissance can be. So I will talk about this in detail, but here I'm just trying to explain the phases, the attack phases. This is the first phase of the any attack, ethical hacking or penetration testing. Uh, the second one is the scanning. So once the reconnaissance or the footprinting is done about the target system, so then an attacker will run the scan. So scan is the more intrusive in nature. So in this phase, the attacker will run the port scan or maybe host discovery, network mapping, and try to gather as many as information about the target system. So in this phase, the attacker will may use several tools to identify the live host and the ports and further what service they are using, what is the platform they are using, and then we'll go after what are the vulnerability into the system that they are using, and then we'll perform the real scan. Third step, the third phase is gaining access. In this phase, the attacker will design the blueprint of the target, and with the help of data collected from the footprinting or the reconnaissance, and the second phase, the scanning. So with those information, the attacker will directly try to gain access into the target system. The attacker will use several uh, techniques or using the exploit. Uh, from the exploit he will determine based on the scan perform. So then in this phase the attacker will try to gain the access in the target system. So once the attacker get the access into, then it moves to the next phase, the phase 4. In the phase 4, the attacker needs to maintain that access level as well, because here the attacker has done a lot of work, he has entered into the system, but if the attacker is not able to maintain the access, then it's useless, because the attacker needs to do the real motive there. So maybe the attacker may have a motive to take that website down, or may have motives to steal that information, exfiltrate that information, or may have motive to be persistence into the system, and then later they can use this system as a command and control or a botnet for the further expanding their bot network within. So maintaining access, the phase 4 is very important phase. in the any attack life cycle, and this can be achieved using malware, rootkit, trojans, and that all these many tools available. So we will talk about this in detail, but here this phase is really important. The maintaining access is the really important phase of any attack life cycle. Fifth one, the final one, is covering tracks. Once this attacker got access, and he needs to be maintained that access as well, but it's really important to clear the tracks, to clear the log, so the attacker can avoid getting caught, because the target system may have a very good uh, monitoring system, and they may be auditing log who is getting into system, what suspicious activities being performed. So for that purpose, they have to clear the track as well. That is really important, so they are not being caught, and then the attacker can make a persistence availability into the target system and finish their goal as well. So in this video, I just try to explain the attack phases, which the attack phases any ethical hacker or pen, pen tester will require to follow uh, to perform the attack into any target system. That's it in this video. Hope this has been informative to you. If you like, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.